Hey guys, Josh here. So today I want to talk about the Heist update and also the new polls they've released. The one thing first I want to mention is actually the quest cape. If you look at this, I've got one quest left, Blood Runs Deep. The only problem with this is the requirement is to complete the hard Fremnik task set, and there is one more requirement I need, which is the Kingdom one, but you have to do Kingdom for a day to get that, so I should be getting the quest cape tomorrow, and that is going to be a really awesome achievement. But firstly, the Heist. So this is the new mini game. They released it behind the scenes yesterday, and so it will be released sometime next week, and it looks absolutely awesome. I am definitely going to try this out a lot. They have I think the main rewards are thieving and hunter XP, but there's also rewards for the mini game which will help you out, which is quite nice. And also just the gameplay, all the maps, you can swim around the maps, you can hide anywhere, and the whole idea of being either a thief or a guard is quite cool. I think some person relates it to Assassin's Creed, which maybe it is kind of a copy of, but it does look like a really awesome minigame, so I can't wait to try and play that. But I guess the main thing I want to talk about is the polls. So there have been 3 new polls: combat level calculation, holiday items for loyalty points, and divination familiar. So I'll talk about the combat level calculation last, because I want to talk a bit about legacy as well with that one. So holiday items, basically, do you want untradeable holiday items to be available for loyalty points in the Solomon's General Store? So I voted for no, but if you look at the sort of votes, it's going to pass. It's at 59 to 40%. I wish this poll was at had to reach 70% or so, just because it has the majority, but it's not by much compared to something like the legacy poll, which is 80 to 20. Obviously that's a clear majority, and actually this number has been decreasing. It was at about, well, actually I think it was at 60, and it has gone down 1, so you never know. By the end of the poll it could be at 55, which just isn't that big a majority. But yeah, I voted against just because stuff well, firstly, they're going to make different versions of these items, so you're not going to be able to get the original scythe or original bunny ears for loyalty points. There'll be different versions, but it's just the kind of the principle of if everyone's running around with these kind of items, even if they are slightly different, it's just not the same. There is a prestige around these items, which I really quite like. I mean, I personally just don't mind the fact that I will never be able to get a scythe or bunny ears, really. I think it is just cool that if you've been playing that long, that you get that kind of reward, really. But the one thing I would vote yes for is if this poll said you can buy holiday items for loyalty points for rewards that you've missed, kind of thing. So I worked out that my account was created in May of 2006, which you can sort of work it out from hands in Lumbridge. If you don't have the 10-year cape, it can tell you how long you have till that. You can work backwards from there. But that means if it was sort of any holiday event in 2006 and onwards, I could buy the items from those. I wouldn't mind, just because I'm kind of entitled to those. I just wasn't playing during the holiday event, so that would be fine. I think it's just the fact that stuff like scythe and bunny ears from I think 2003, a long time ago now, I don't really deserve them, and so I wouldn't really want to be able to get them. It's kind of not unfair on the people that do. It's kind of not fair on the people that actually properly got them. So yeah, I voted no for that, but that will pass, it's looking like. Second one is the divination familiar. So I voted for the divination booster, which gives improvements to boons, divine locations, and the sign of porter. But it looks like divine beast of burden is gonna win this poll, which I'm slightly confused about. Maybe I'm missing something, but with this beast of burden, if it's a yak, it will just be you can do 2 invents at a time instead of 1. But then surely doing 2 invents normally will take the same time as doing an invent, filling up with the yak, and then depositing it all. So I don't really understand how this is going to really benefit divination, because you might save a tiny bit of time, but it's not going to be much. I don't think it's worth making this familiar, to be quite honest. But maybe I am missing something, that like there is some special reward for this, if you deposit more or something. I don't really know, but I'm not quite sure why this one is winning, but I guess we will get a beast of burden for divination. So the last one is the most important one, the combat level calculation. So this is 138 versus 200, and as you can see, 138 is winning by a landslide, 71 to 28, and actually this has gone up since like 10 minutes ago. It used to be 70 to 29, so clearly 138 is going to win. I voted for that. I do prefer 138 a lot more. It shows just like combat potential a lot better. Like obviously you got prayer, summoning, and then either maxed melee with constitution, or you can't be 138 with range and mage max and not melee, but they are planning to edit that to make it so you can be 138 if you've like got 99 defense, range, HP, mage, and prayer and summoning. So they're gonna have to do some balancing for that, but 138 is definitely a lot better than just having 299s for 200, because it means absolutely nothing really. 200, everyone has that, and just I guess the prestige around 138 is quite nice as well. The one thing I was thinking about earlier was actually like why they did change the formula, because the thing of prayer and summoning being in the formula, it was the fact that they were so useful pre-EOC, but now in the EOC they're not included, because prayer 8% boost from piety, 10% from turmoil, even though turmoil is 25 levels more and like hundreds of millions more to get, and that boost is just barely anything. Like 10% is just not really a boost. Summoning, the only useful familiars are like a yak and a unicorn really. Combat familiars are still shocking, and I don't think they will fix them anytime soon. Even after the buff, they're still not that good. Whereas pre-EOC, like a Titan actually did have a lot of DPS compared to now. And like actually I do remember, I think it was Stefan was saying that when he used to duo next back in like sort of like 2012 or something, you had to like steal Titan blood just to get it down, and now if you try to steal Titan blood you would just be laughed at really, like you're not even going to hit anything. So yeah, you can kind of see the difference there from pre-EOC to EOC summoning. Herblore isn't included in the calculation, but that was also nerfed as well. So in terms of legacy though, for this, they've said that they want to kind of like anything they want to put in legacy is going to have to be the same across both systems. So combat performance is one of them. It's not really dependent on legacy, but it's gonna be the same in both, which is sort of why this has been polled, because when they brought back the idea of legacy, a lot of people thought about this 138. But I was wondering, for anyone that is a fan of the EOC and isn't going to play legacy, if you would mind some pre-EOC features coming back. So some of the old stats, but maybe with a bit of rebalancing, I think that could be quite good for the EOC, because if we look at stats at the moment, 2.7k defense, I have no clue what this means. 1k damage, 3.6k accuracy, these numbers mean absolutely nothing. All we know in the new system is higher is better. Whereas before, you didn't necessarily have to have the best accuracy, damage and defense, but you could still do really well. And obviously the numbers were a lot smaller, so they're a lot more meaningful compared to now, where it's just add like 1,000 damage to a weapon and that's its stats really. So I do prefer the old stats. They would have to edit it slightly to compensate for mage, range and melee being the same DPS now, but I don't think that would be too hard. I think they're a lot better than the stats now, just because the stats now are very meaningless. Old HP coming back would be nice as well, with improved damage soaking, because all like adding HP it's just simplified damage soaking. So stuff could still work with 99 HP with next sets and above boosting life points rather, and they could actually introduce like some interesting mechanics for tanking. So like tank armor could boost more life points than next armors, then DPS armors, and shields could boost a lot as well. But yeah, I would prefer that, and it'd still kind of be balanced. So stuff like if you get hit 5k now, which is sort of like half your life points, that would just be 500 in the old system, or maybe a bit more if you're wearing neck sets. So something like that could be quite cool. I think strength bonus and prayer bonuses have to come back. Well, obviously prayer bonus is still in the game, but they slashed prayer bonus on like all items by half with the EAC, and since they nerfed prayer to the ground, I'm sure they should buff that back up. Strength bonus was a really interesting feature pre-EAC, and it really meant that you would strive for a max hit, which just isn't seen anymore, and just meant that you would always try and get the best weapon with like the best gear with the best strength bonus, just so you could get those higher hits. Because now everything's like a percentage of ability damage, you don't really go for higher hits. Well, I guess you don't really know what your max hit is properly, because it's all sort of you hit the same thing, and like you kind of like hit 1k, 2k, or sort of like 4k of abilities. That's basically it. So I think strength bonuses and sort of with bringing life points back down would definitely sort of make hits a bit more meaningful now as well. So that would definitely be cool to see, I think. The last things are prayer and summoning. I think Herbalore can stay the same. I mean, I'd wish Overload's boosted a bit more, but I guess they're decent at the moment. But prayer, I don't think anything was wrong with pre-EAC Turmoil, but I think at least boosting to about a max of about 20% would be a lot better. And summoning combat familiars just need to actually like hit and are actually accurate. They've got to be good again, because summoning obviously is a very hard 99, and it's kind of worthless at the moment. The only good thing is Yaks. So I wish they would change those things back. I don't think they would really affect the EAC. I think they would actually improve it, and definitely with Legacy and the combat beta, this is the chance to like suggest these kind of things. So I thought I'd just put that in there. But leave your comments as to like if you wouldn't mind those things coming back, if you think they would affect the EAC. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.